my mom, she was like, do you want to try doing a newscast? And we actually did a simulated newscast, and I played a journalist. And then from that moment on, I had a microphone, so I would pretend like I'm leading my own celebrity talk show.
All I ever wanted in life was to perform. Felt like I couldn't say it out loud, even though like my family has such a history of it.
Some of them are forced into it.
Forced into it?
Yeah, like domestic roles. Like,
Right.
you have to cook because you're home and dad's at work.
Sometimes when I message women, I'll run them through ChatGPT.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will.
No, you won't.
I
Are you
really
serious?
Don't ever do that.
Please don't do
How's
that.
that work? How's that working? What's the response rate?
Yeah, are you getting a response?
Is
this on Hinge?
What's going on, guys? My name's Tarun, Shetty. Welcome to the Convo Sutra. So excited for this episode. We have an amazing show lined up for you. But first, let's do a quick intro for our audio listeners.
What's up, guys? It's Jazz, host of the Hot Chai Pod, a Bollywood film and gossip show.
Hi guys, I'm Genevieve Dube'C. I'm so happy to be here. I am a comedian and podcast host by the time this comes out officially.
Yay.
Hi, and I'm excited to be here. I'm Rasha Goel. I am a entertainment journalist, reporter, and producer.
Welcome.
Rasha, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here with all of you.
First time you've actually been being interviewed, I guess?
I've been interviewed before, but yes, I spend most of my time on the other side interviewing.
Oh, what is that like?
So
Sitting in the seat.
sitting in this seat, you know, I have to tell you, I think it kind of pushes me out of my comfort zone because it's easy for me to just get into the interviewing mode. But when people are asking me questions, I find it hard to talk about myself sometimes. But we'll have fun.
Maybe we should switch you and Tarun and put him in the
Yeah.
hot seat.
Honestly,
Put him in the hot seat
I
for
need a
once.
break, honestly.
Let's do that.
And by the way, I don't know why I keep putting these two together.
And it's a little. We were gonna wear. I was gonna wear the same type of scarf, and she was gonna wear these shorts. And I was like,
I made a joke about that. I mean,
we even coordinated before.
I was surprised Genevieve even showed up on time. Normally,
I was gonna
she's
say,
never
like,
even
Really?
here.
you're welcome that I was not just on time. I was early.
She was early.
Is she that late all the time?
all the time.
Oh my God, she
constantly,
like walks
but-
in like when the podcast is wrapping up.
Okay,
No.
first of all, no, and you're welcome for
her,
showing
She
out.
makes her content count.
Maybe you
Yes.
should give her like an hour earlier call time.
She's
Don't
on
do that.
Canadian time. She's
Don't do
Canadian.
that. Don't do that.
In time.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. And you've had a busy, I know the Oscars were
Yes.
2 weeks ago and you cover everything. I know you because I was also working
Yeah.
at Showbiz India
I remember.
like for years and years, like 20 years ago. And you were also doing red carpet stuff as well and interviewing people. Were you working at TV Asia?
I did, yes.
Okay. Where were you
did.
working back then? What was your
Oh,
first
back
job?
then?
Yeah.
Actually, no, back then I was doing a lot of international stuff. But wait, I do want to give a quick shout out
Yeah,
to
please.
Reshma
Yeah.
from Showbiz India because I feel like she kind of started a lot of that stuff for people and in the
Absolutely.
local market, right? But it's been so much
trailblazer.
fun to watch like how much all of us have grown and where we've gone and stuff. My journey at that time, I was doing a lot of international. So I started off with ZTV. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but
yeah.
ZTV was one of the OGs at the time
Yeah.
in broadcast in India, and they had just launched in the US. So I found a way to get connected with them. And then quickly, as I was doing stories for them, all of a sudden, Fox, Disney, Sony, all those guys had heard of me, and I was freelancing. So then I got a chance to kind of cover all the Hollywood stuff for them. And then when Bollywood stars would touch down here, they'd want me to go and do those pieces as well. So I started off in international first. I loved it, though. I loved it.
You went to UCLA?
Yes.
So what about this?
You did your homework.
I've got a backstory about that. But what did you always want to be, I guess, on this side of the business?
On this, you know, this is a fun question for me always, actually, because I will tell you when I was 8 years old, I knew I wanted to do this. This is not like the most exciting story, but for me, I think when I look back, it's really special because I had to do a report on Martin Luther King Jr. And my mom, she was like, do you want to try doing a newscast? And we actually did a simulated newscast, and I played a journalist. And then from that moment on, I had a microphone, so I would pretend like I'm leading my own celebrity talk show.
I'm obsessed with hearing this because of two different things. Firstly, my mom's family always talked about how she would set her like brothers up to simulate being a teacher and like different things, and that was her vibe. For me, it was very much as a kid, the same kind of a thing, where I would like set up random, either like I don't host ever, but like just performing in like weird ways. And I love that you knew like early on
It's kind of
that's what
crazy.
you
I mean,
wanna-
you're a comedian, right?
Yeah,
so
I'm a comedian.
having that audience in front of you
comedian.
there.
It's so
But
cute. Okay.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
I love
what are the
Genevieve.
Excuse me,
What did you just do? What did your hand just do? Show me.
I said
Show me.
comedian.
anyone who can get in front of an audience
Yeah.
like that and make people laugh, hats off to you because I could not do
No,
that.
I love
do
Genevieve.
that.
Honestly, I've told her off camera, like, I'm so glad she's on the podcast because I can say anything and she doesn't get offended. And because she's a comedian.
She'll come back.
Yeah. No, that's why she's here all the time. I really do appreciate her.
But I
She's here
do
all
love and
the
admire
time.
that because I think there's something so special when you're
When
a little
you're-
kid and you recognize that.
And you just know, like,
Yeah.
that's so incredible. I had that inclination and then kind of deviated to do some more practical things because it felt like that wasn't a possibility, even though that's what I was like really drawn to and feeling. So for you to know so early on and then actually make that happen throughout your like life in a pretty, gorgeous, it seems like linear way, that's
Oh, girl, has
wonderful.
not been linear. I will tell
Okay,
you
let's hear
this,
it.
though. I
Give it
mean,
to me.
and it's such a soul
When you say,
connection,
oh, girl,
I think.
you know it's coming. She's bringing the
The
heat.
truth is coming.
Even in so growing up too, I would still audition for like school plays, and I played the viola, which is it's a deeper stringed instrument than the violin.
Wow.
But I was in all these things, and I was one of the only Indians. So or even taking like jazz and hip hop and all that, but I was the only Indian.
Where did
pretty
you grow
much.
up?
I'm a mutt. So I was born in Hawaii.
Okay.
And then I lived in New York, North Carolina, New Hampshire, all these different
Wow.
on the East Coast.
Where
But
in New Hampshire?
I spent Texas a lot of time in Houston. Why New Hampshire?
Where?
Oh, we're Seabrook.
I'm from New Hampshire.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I didn't do my homework on that.
why do I feel like Seabrook was the town from The Notebook?
Was it?
When
Sounds like
when she comes back as an adult and there's only one hotel in Seabrook, for some reason that's where my head
Oh,
goes.
we'll
Is
have
that
to
right?
look that up now. See, I had no idea. It was like the
Put
small
it on the
little
back
town.
screen.
Yeah, anyway, sorry.
So it's like you were always, finding your place to fit in. And then even as I started, and I did go into corporate too, by the way. So I started off at Sony Pictures, which is very funny because I literally was on the lot a week ago, 2 weeks ago, by the time this airs, or whenever this airs. But what was so surreal was I got to be a part of an on-set visit.
Saw that visit.
Oh, did you see that? Yeah,
on
for All
Instagram.
Mankind.
Yeah.
So cool.
And it was crazy because 20 years ago, I would try to get on that lot for my lunch breaks and everything. So I was working marketing there, but I wanted to see because they were filming Men in Black or Charlie's Angels or things like that. And I just wanted to escape and be a part of that or look up auditions. So I've done the corporate route too.
Yeah. Jazz, when you were a kid, did you have this premonition to be a Bollywood?
Yes.
Did I have a premonition that I was going to do product management for enterprise
And talk
software?
shit about Bollywood?
I knew I would talk about Bollywood. Actually, when I was 8 is when I discovered Bollywood. That was the first time I'd watched a Bollywood film. So that was actually life-changing.
Do you remember the movie?
Yeah, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. Yeah, it changed my life. My cousin showed it to me. And then I got really into Bollywood because my parents didn't watch it at home otherwise. But no, I would always write down, like, I want to be president. Like, I always thought I was going to be in politics. And then, like,
You still can.
So I see it for
You
you.
wrote down tech.
I don't know if you want to anymore, but you still can.
I mean, tech was
Should
like
want
that.
to now more than ever. Sorry.
No, so anyway, no, not really.
I used to do
I
a
just wanted
podcast
power.
with stuffed animals.
I was going to ask you, so was this always a calling for you?
No.
No, did
I
you
mean, not I don't know if
like-
podcast, I would have known.
was acting a calling for you?
Well, I feel like I failed in a lot of different things, but I've always been good at like hosting and being myself.
But when you were little.
Oh, when I was little? Mm-hmm. You know what's funny? Like I had like a speech problem, and so I couldn't speak.
You still do.
See? That's why I come at you hard, Genevieve.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in a little heavier this episode, I think.
Karma.
Please bring it. That's why Jazz is sitting in between us. No, but like, because we spoke, my mom said because we spoke Telugu at home. It's like from Bangalore. And so like when I spoke English, it didn't come out right. So I actually saw a speech therapist when I was in elementary school. And so to this day, and I remember kids used to make fun of me, but to this day, I still like read in the mornings, like out of a book, because it drives me crazy. Like I have this fear that people are not going to understand me and I've got to be, and I know I can communicate. I mean, I can make my living doing it. I host for so many different things, but I have this impending fear that I live with that I can't speak properly.
Even now.
Even now.
That's fair.
You know, these childhood things kind of stay with you. Maybe I wouldn't have this podcast if I didn't put so much work into my communication skills, because I do work a lot as a live host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
I think so
I'm
too.
so messed up. Yeah, it's fascinating.
No, it's not messed up.
Not at all. It's a growth trajectory. It's
Yeah.
very
It makes me
interesting.
kind of like, because I do Reiki healing as well.
Oh, really?
And so I'm like, ooh,
That's
I wonder if we can help them kind of, remove those blockages,
energy,
that
yeah.
energy blocks.
We
to
need
help you
to-
move past that.
beat the rune with a stick.
You do?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing about Reiki.
Genevieve will do it for free, apparently.
I'll hire the guy across the street to do it.
I'm in. I'm good.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. If you like this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. So let's go back to your movies of the week story. So you were in marketing and you were like, I'm just going to quit this and get into the broadcasting side of it?
I knew that was going to be temporary. I just knew that in my soul. But, I took it because it was the route of, it's comfortable. I know the money's there. The parents are happy.
Yeah.
But then I finally just took a leap. And what was interesting, though, I didn't immediately go into broadcasting. I ended up working for Hollywood Squares. So I worked at the original Hollywood Squares for two
love that.
producers. That was an amazing experience. I met, obviously, Whoopi was one of our, Tom Bergeron was our host. Whoopi was there. So I got to meet all these people, all these different stars, everything. And that's when I was like, okay, I know I want to work in production for sure, but I still want to do my storytelling. I still want to be the host, the journalist, whatnot. On my way, as I would go to work there too, it was fun, whatnot. But then I finally just said, I saved up and I went and I interned at KTLA in their newsroom.
Cool.
And that's where everything started.
Wow.
And then just started putting myself out there. And then when I found out about Z, I made a tape. I sent that to them. But I feel like it's always been the next step, like, right? Like what's next and meeting people and finding
great,
the next
though.
door. And I don't know if that's an
The
entertainment.
next
No.
step thing is it might be partially an entertainment thing, but I know a lot of people, and I know that I feel this. There is always this next step thing on your mind. You get to a different level, and it could deviate from like even if you don't even have a plan, just kind of what I thought. And I think that is a very normal feeling in, I guess, this business. I'm not in your business, but I think anything in entertainment, I think tends to be.
Yeah, we're all in entertainment, so I feel like it still tends to go that way.
I think it also is a personality thing, honestly. Like some people are happy being complacent and some people are always looking for the next thing, or they can't some people can stay in a job for 20 years, right? Like corporate job. And then some people are like, you'll see their resume and they've changed so many times because they're just like, okay, what else? Like
Everything that I've shot for, I never got, but it's always led me to something else that's different. Like I came to LA to be like an actor and I never got that. So I just kind of followed whatever green lights. But I've also quit corporate jobs too.
You have, okay.
Yeah.
But did you feel like it was exciting, whatever path that you were led to? I mean, did you enjoy, or was there ever regret? Like, do you ever feel like, okay, I still want to go back and maybe do a movie or a television series?
Can I tell you though, even today, I still wonder if I'm on the right path or not. Like, I'm always like, do I actually like doing this? I always think, when I would drive here in the morning, I always think, do I like doing this podcast? Because the day it stops being fun, I'm going to stop this podcast. So I'm always like hyper analyzing, is this worth my time? Because I spend so much time doing this, or whatever it is I do. I just got this movie audition. I'm going to turn it down because I just don't have time to prep for this. Like, it's like a 6-page thing and I've got to get a podcast out. I've got to go to a birthday party tomorrow. I was like,
birthday party.
Wait,
Audition, birthday party.
the calling to be like an actor, like, I don't want to keep up with the Joneses.
So
think
see,
it's over?
so your passion isn't there anymore then,
Yeah, I
because
know.
you would have dropped it.
I would have
Yes.
back in the day done it just because I felt like I needed to do it because someone else is booking stuff. But now I think I'm really secure with where I am. Like, I don't have to do it. It's going to piss off my agent. But
I know, but that's
you're
a great
watching.
feeling. Okay, first of all, I think we give too much power sometimes to our agents and managers. I don't know if I should be saying that here, but you know,
not? We're a
Expose
podcast.
well, basically, because I follow this thing too of like, why do we give our power away to other people? We have that all within. Goes back to my spiritual, beliefs and teachings, but we have the power within us. And while I respect the agents and the managers, I think we hand over so much to them, not realizing we are the client. And we also have a say and get to decide that this doesn't work for me, you know, or not feeling aligned with this one. So because I used to be like that too, like take every audition or just do it. And I thought, hell, I'm not even enjoying this part. Like I can't even see myself booking this role. Why am I auditioning for? Like this isn't even fun anymore.
Give away your agency a little. You're like, in some ways it's like a mental thing of like, oh, let them handle it. And then you have to not even worry about it.
Yeah.
But then you're worrying about it more because.
Can you guys relate to that as doing something that you didn't want to do because you felt you had to do it?
I mean,
Even in life, it doesn't have to be work related.
Anything.
doing lots of things I don't want to do all the time. Gym,
Like this podcast.
Convo, Sutra.
Yet they show up every time. Though.
No, they do show up. I'm really lucky. Not just
No,
everybody
actually,
on
I
the
love
podcast.
this. I find this really fun. I used to find it a little nerve-wracking when we
Still?
started, maybe like a year ago. I used to be like, I've never been on like anything like this, but because I get to self-edit on mine because it's just me.
Sure.
I feel like with dating, I used to go down the route of like what I should be doing. I should be meeting someone like this. I should be putting effort because of my age. Like all these like things, and I never even wanted to. I didn't even care. But I was like trying to check off a box a little bit, and now I've like reached a place of like not caring at all, which is very freeing.
Yeah.
And I think
That's
it's.
how I feel all the time.
But then you feel this like even now you feel these like other voices being like, well, you'll find someone, and no, don't say you'll be single next summer, and I'm like, please don't manifest bad things
Is that
for
other
me.
people telling you that?
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, because it's like, no, don't say you'll be single next summer. I was like, no, I want to be single next summer. What? Like I don't know.
Nothing wrong with being single, baby.
I know. I learning from the master, but
Master. A black belt, 3rd-degree black belt.
so I don't know. So that's something where I feel like I should do this. I mean, among a million other nice Indian girl things.
Like work, like you were saying.
Wait, I want to hear Genevieve's answer real quick.
Can you ask that question again?
Yeah. Did you ever feel like you did something that you felt like you just had to do it for the sake of doing it?
I think you know perfectly well that feeling as a comic, as a stand-up comedian. You're like, I've had times of feeling as though I need to take every opportunity. It ran me into the ground in a way of like, was so grateful and excited that I'm being offered like booked shows like 6 days a week or multiple a night and that kind of a thing. And it's wonderful until there's an incredible comedian that I'm in contact with. They were like, you probably shouldn't do that show but I was just so hungry for it. And in this mindset of the obsession over hours of stand-up comedy and like, you know, you have to reach a certain amount of hours and like
It's
levels.
a masochist profession.
I know.
That's what this business does.
Do you have to reach a certain amount of hours?
Well, no, I just mean like, it's almost like
for yourself?
You have to suffer to.
not suffer. It's just, you're not respected until you reach, you know, but like even in my first year of stand-up comedy, if I were to tell people I've done a year, I'm like, no, but I haven't done a regular year because I've been up like 6-7 days a week, booked shows, crazy, taking the worst of the worst, doesn't matter. And I've purposefully like, you know, it's just put myself, I'm old. Like I'm at a point where I won't necessarily take everything now for sure. Like I say no to things, which is such a nice position to finally like get to, but I still like them and stuff. And like those kinds of shows, I think it teaches you in the best way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that. So you just covered the Oscars, right?
I did.
Did the Oscars hire you?
No, that was freelance for another outlet.
Okay.
That was for Shorts TV. And then I did some work for Variety India as well.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was a lot of fun. So normally I do carpet stuff and I'm out there on the carpet. This time I also got to do the press room and I loved it. So in the press room, what happens is that everybody who wins gets to come through and give their speeches and you get to hear that first. You get to ask questions, which I was able to do. And I think there's something so special about seeing these people come through, these artists, and just sharing. But it's a lot of work too. I mean, people think
you got to research it.
It's the Oscars and, you get to be there. No, first of all, I think, again, all these artists, the talent, they're not your best friend, right? So this is just an industry we're all working. We're trying to get our jobs done. They have a job. Us as journalists, we have a job. So yes, it's fun, fully grateful, but there's a lot of prep work, you know?
Do you feel like you're fighting against the narrative of the PR people and the marketing, like versus you asking your questions? Do you find that pushback?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the outlet and the situation. But it's gotten really tricky and interesting because now they're having a lot of the content creators or influencers
On the carpet.
and that's
Oh my God.
but that's also backfiring.
Yeah.
So that's changing the whole game too. It's funny you mentioned like the PR narrative because I remember years ago, I was interviewing Jennifer Aniston, and this was during the time that her and Brad Pitt had broken up. And we specifically got the note, no one is to ask any questions around Brad. And if you do, you will be kicked out. So I didn't do that, but I just wanted to have fun with her. So I'm like, what's the best piece of advice you would give when it comes to love? And she was so clever and cute. She says, you're asking me? You want me to give that advice? So it's fun to do that. But I think in situations like that, sometimes PR will narrate.
Yeah. I have a horror story. I think Showbiz sent me to The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, yeah.
Movie. So it was like Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, and all these other big stars. It was a huge room. And it got to me. And Star Wars had just come out.
The second one.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Vampire.
I'm not 85 years old.
Yeah.
So anyway, Star Wars had just come out. They're in a trilogy. So I said, are you guys going to make a trilogy of The Longest Yard? And I thought, oh, it was hilarious. Like, it was like dead silent. Chris Rock's like, no.
Oh, so I fell flat.
It was such a bomb. And like Adam Sandler was like from New Hampshire. I was like, oh, he's going to think I'm hilarious. Put me in his next movie because I asked this hilarious question. And like, it was such a disaster. I think they edited it out of the...
How'd you recover from that?
Well, I can recover from failure pretty well. And I was like, I'm going to do a podcast in 20 years.
Yeah. I was going to say like the issue with that was that there was no chat GPT for you to ask if this is a funny joke or not. And that's,
I know.
ChatGPT is full of lies.
Yes.
It is, yeah.
Well, that's a great segue. Should we ask the question? The
Sure.
show question. Just so we have something
The show question.
that can trend.
Question
We can get
du
some
jour.
clips.
The trend.
So Hollywood is ramping up AI production. Fruit Love Island is a micro drama getting lots of views on TikTok. As Deep as the Grave, which is using AI, generative AI to recreate Val Kilmer. Long story short, is AI helping or hurting Hollywood?
Ooh. That's a question that we've all been talking about, I think, for a while, for the past year or two, if not more. I think it's both. And this is why I say this, because, okay, I always like to start on the positive. So helping, I think it's kind of, when it comes to creative, as far as maybe post-production stuff, right? And editing and things like that, yes. But I feel it hurts us when you're looking creatively at human beings and the essence of that. So when we're talking about writers, we're talking about actors, there is where I think it's definitely hurting. I want to just mention though to you what the Fruit Love Island thing, I think they just had an issue.
Oh, yeah?
I think some of their stuff was just taken down because
I didn't know that.
they were, yes, no, it hit so well. But I think they came up with this thing where, and they're getting mad, the creators, because they're being called out for AI slop, I guess, where it's not properly done. So I don't know, that's tricky. I couldn't relate to that show. I don't know if you guys have watched it. It's, I don't need to see
So your
fruits
answer
dating
is
each other.
AI's bad, you're saying, for creative stuff.
So no, I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's fun. It allows you to be creative. But when it comes to film and television things, right? And we're looking at the integrity of actual actors, I do question it. You know, I'm with people like Guillermo del Toro, right? Just the
So
creative
cool.
work that he does, and everything is so authentic. And I feel like if AI is going to take that, like in the case of Val Kilmer, no, I'm not for that. Number one, if that's allowed now, we're setting a precedent for that tap into other actors. Number two, the whole thing about being an actor is when we watch someone that we like in the theater, that actor's job is to show up in that character, right? And how they respond, and things aren't natural. With AI, which also still needs the human backing, you're not going to get that human response. And so I think we lose that. And so, and Val Kilmer, I mean, bless his heart, but he's not even here. So how do we know that what's going to be showcased is, I know that he was very progressive and he loved technology, and he was really into technological advances and being a part of that. But how do we know that he would approve what's being shown, right?
What do you think, Jess?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Well, I have a lot of thoughts. I mean, I have an AI startup myself, but in healthcare, and you know, sometimes there's these like ethical considerations around that. But I think not even just the actors and, you know, that, you know, are being affected by AI, but even the writers, right? And that can also be AI slop. I mean, even with something as simple as like my podcast outline, sometimes I'll be like, oh, like I have all these notes I've written throughout the week. Let me just put it into ChatGPT. And then I'm like, this is just garbage. And like, it's trying to make jokes and like, just like, forget it. I'll just do it myself.
AI is horribly unfunny.
It's horribly unfunny. And then, you know, then there's like this, I was at this tech like networking event and this girl was like super drunk, but she was cool. And she was showing me like, this is my style, her alter ego. And she's like, look, I took this CEO's face. She's like this dermatologist or whatever. And I just took her face and made a whole commercial of her like injecting Botox and stuff. It was super realistic, but I was like, she couldn't just walk around and inject the Botox. But then I get it because there's a cost savings perspective to it too. She's like, we didn't have to rent out a whole studio. We didn't have to rent out a crew. We didn't have to do editing. Like we saved thousands of dollars. So I don't know. It's helping businesses like go to market quicker and stuff, but it's.
Sometimes when I message women, I'll run it through ChatGPT.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will.
No, you won't.
I
you
really hope-
serious?
Don't ever do that.
Please don't do
How's
that.
that work? How's that working? What's the response rate?
Yeah. Are you getting a response?
That is so
this on
yucky.
Hinge?
I mean, it's okay. It's nothing great. I can come up with better lines.
Okay, so then why are you using it?
Because I'm just insecure. I just want to make sure I'm doing everything right.
That's not fun. I don't believe you for
Hey,
some
you know
reason.
what?
but
It's tough
I
being
know
a
there's
man. We
people
talked
who-
about this last episode.
Tough being a man.
Oh, please. Somebody actually did share that with me. They were on a plane ride, and the guy next to him was sitting there asking ChatGPT how to respond to a woman that he was
Look,
talking to.
as a
I
guy,
find that so ridiculous.
Women are hard to read.
Please, you need to show up with full integrity. If you need to talk to ChatGPT to talk to me,
You know
Or
what it's
to
like
argue with me.
texting women.
Yeah.
There used to be back in your day, back in the OG,
love how she
back in
changes
the
that.
back in the OG three Star
Star
Wars,
Wars.
which was
Star Wars
actually
days.
the one you were covering. Stop lying. During that time, you'd have to read. There was a book
write
apparently
letters.
called
The game or something?
No, don't even get me started on that. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Yeah, that's a famous book.
So that's your era. So
Tarun,
just why don't you
speak
why don't you just like, if you want to have that point of view where it's so difficult to talk to women that you need ChatGPT, go back to that era.
Would you
Okay,
get
yours.
mad if you knew, I don't know if you're married or not, but if you were a husband or boyfriend, if you found out they were writing stuff using ChatGPT?
But like writing what? Like their work?
their
I'd be annoyed.
responses. Yeah.
Listen, I would know how and who they are if it's working. What like
You could
What
tell.
if it was from the jump?
no,
What if
no,
it was from the jump?
You have to get but eventually when you're in person, they're not going to be like looking on ChatGPT for the proper answer
you'll
when
be
I ask
able
you a
to
question.
tell
So you could,
how
it's
they're
like either
responding.
What if you're dating an executive and he's outsourced all his like texting and replies to like his admin assistant and she's feeding your convos and he's like, make it sound like me and like
perfect
You're okay with
man
it.
because it's coming from a woman. Perfect. Marry me immediately. That's exactly
I can
it.
see that.
I'm
So
game.
then you'd accept
Call
it.
me up. I would much rather be having a conversation with somebody if I'm going to lean into that.
I want a real person, real answer.
I do. Yeah. No, I'm joking, obviously.
Yes.
to your point, it could help de-escalate in a fight though. Like instead of
Well,
like
that's what
some
therapy say.
dumb
That's
man
what couples
answer,
therapy.
just send it
But
to
what are you going to do? Be like, oh, could you
Meet
hold
my
on?
level.
This is how I'm going to respond right now.
Well, if
That's
you're in
in
a text
front of
war,
you.
if you're in a text war,
Okay.
you know?
Oof, text wars. I haven't been on one
Not that
in a
I've
long
been in a
time.
text war in a long time. But I would welcome it if someone's going to use ChatGPT now.
She's like, I'm
Me
actually
versus the
fiending for
machine.
it. I'm fiending for it. Yeah. She needs to get some demons out and she's
Yeah,
waiting, please.
I need to get
Enter
my
a text.
anger out. Don't take it personally. It wasn't your response.
Yeah.
Or is there anything that you use AI for that you've gotten too lazy to use it for? I mean, you heard my answer, texting.
Well, that's insane to me, but I like it. I see where you're coming from. For me, it's helped, like I'm launching this podcast. So just as somebody who is literally learning and doing it myself, I have been using it in the sense of just asking questions about like basic advice for what might be the right program for this, what might be the right whatever for this, like, and walking me through it. It's literally like a manual for certain things that I would have had to go to the library for back in your day.
Tarun GPT, you text me like, what are you using? And I answer immediately.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so I'm not going to use whatever he's using. And I asked, I'm kidding. So I asked ChatGPT, but it has been very helpful, like with this learning curve that's been, something so out of my zone of knowledge.
Same question, Rasha. What do you use
Great for marketing.
AI that you're lazy to do on your
Lazy to do? I'm not lazy.
You're not
Really,
lazy.
but I will tell you this, just for kicks. A few months ago, because I love hosting at my home. I love having people over and feeding them. It's like I've kind of an open door policy.
Oh, you could bring food here.
All three of you, yes, I would have done that. But
TcS&x stragglers.
yeah,
I'm
I would have brought.
hungry,
I'm an
so-
excellent chai maker.
Really?
But I think you guys drink coffee, right?
Yeah, it's coffee.
I drink
You guys
both.
are coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, you drink? Okay. So my home is always an open door to like, you want to have chai? Come over, get you samosas, whatever. Like, I love hosting. So I wanted to do a thematic event. And normally I think of stuff and I'm like, I'm tired. So I actually put it in there. You know, this is how many people I have. This is the theme. What can I get? What's reasonable? And it created the entire thing for me. And then it gave me recipes that I didn't even think of. So that was kind of fun for me.
That's cool.
That is cool.
But when it comes to work stuff, you have to be really careful with it on the journalism side. So I don't, I mean, if I need to research something, maybe I'll do that, but I tend to kind of just still do the research.
Why is it because the facts are wrong?
Yes, you always have to double check
It's
the
like
facts.
it's literally using Wikipedia probably and stuff, right?
And Reddit.
You need to make
and all
sure
that
that the
stuff.
information is correct. But then for people who are in print journalism too, I mean, it can write you an article and you want it.
Yeah.
First of all, that's out of integrity. So, you know, publications do not want that because that's your job as a journalist.
It has to be coming from
has
your
to be coming
voice.
from
Even
your
if
voice.
even if it's meant to be an objective article, it still needs to come from your
But
voice.
you have to check the info because
crazy.
it does have some wrong details.
May I ask?
No.
I was going to say I don't
Can you
want to
stop
cut you off.
swearing? By the way, I gotta
Pardon
bleep all
me?
this. Can you stop swearing? I have to bleep all this out.
Really?
Seriously, yeah.
It's on TV.
It airs on TV.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay,
You've done like 8 episodes.
I'm just kidding.
It's a good thing you
I
said
actually
that
didn't
because
know.
I haven't said anything.
Okay, I just want to ask. So you were speaking about how happy you are to host and that kind of a thing, right? And I don't know, does that come from like your family, from your culture, from your background? Because like that was a big thing growing up in my household. I'm French Canadian, and my mère, it was always they had stuff on hand ready to go in case someone just stopped by, and it was very much a stop by kind of a thing.
Hosting for like, okay, they meant like
people
television
yourself.
hosting.
No,
hosting people who are-
you're hosting people at your house.
No,
you're
you
saying.
know what? I think that comes from my mom.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, my mom has always been so loving, and she's an amazing cook, which did not pass down necessarily to me. She can cook any cuisine, but yes, because anytime somebody would come over, even when I was growing up, my friends from school would come over. There was always food, you know. And even till this day, if friends are in the neighborhood or she's at home and someone wants to come by, she'll have.
I think it's a
ready.
Daisy thing. My mom loved
think it's a
cooking.
I think it's a
thing.
Daisy.
Those are her love
Cultural.
language.
Some of them are forced into it, and then some are
Forced
also,
into it?
Yeah, like domestic roles. Like
Right.
you have to cook because you're home and dad's at work. So
No, I think, but I think
I would never
to-
tell my wife that. You have to cook.
culture.
that's good to know. Sign me up.
Hey, there's a lot of men that cook nowadays too. I have a friend. Her man does all the cooking.
Where's the better
Really
cook?
cooks.
Where's the time? And
So, but I do think it's partially a cultural thing as far as the hosting, or even, for example, walking into an Indian home. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong. Forget if there's even food, but you'll always be asked for water or chai.
yeah,
Like
you have to offer something.
always. I remember when I was like 15 or 16, I'd gone to my friend's. She was white, and she's my best friend till today. And I went over to her place, and I was there for almost 3 hours. I came back, and I was like, Mom, they didn't even ask me for water, or
that's
she
weird.
didn't offer juice or anything. I had to ask them.
Yeah.
And it felt
That's just a
weird to
different
me.
kind of.
I want to hear the Canadian perspective.
No, that's what I asked because in my home, like growing up, not necessarily my mom, which is funny, but she was such a working professional, but my mère, who also worked, so I shouldn't. But the French Canadian way, it seemed like she always had like tortilla, like meat pie ready to go. She had an abundance of food and snacks, or like a cake, always, because people, like family members, would just stop by. Oh, Norm stopped by. Like people would just stop by. It's like a knock at the door, or maybe it's a call 30 minutes before. And there were always like cookies and snacks and different things, like already, like it was just, she just kept it in case. And it was very much like that. I spent a lot of time there, and there just was always stuff like for
Hospitable.
guests, guests. Yeah. Like constantly.
So, Jazz, what are you going to do? Not
I'm
knowing how to
hungry,
cook?
by the way, now.
Yes,
you
me
have cake in
neither.
that fridge of yours?
now I want cake.
Me too.
Actually, I am a
Honey, I catered today.
I'm actually a very strong cook, which is a fun
really?
fact that people would not
Learning
expect.
stuff.
Yeah.
Love
What do you cook?
I cook it all. I cook
Single
Indian,
guys out there.
I cook like real Indian food, and I'm pretty big on that.
That's great.
Italian.
Is that on the
French.
biodata? Just kidding.
No. Surprise.
Did you grow up though the same thing as Rasha, just as part of the culture?
Yeah, I mean, my parents are very like hospitable and very generous. I think it's like a generous spirit too. Like people come over, like treat them well, make it a good experience, and there'll always be something out. Like we won't just like have people over and just like watch them. So
Yeah.
I'll always keep a lot of wine. Because a lot of people are coming over and they're not necessarily eating, but I'll always have like chips or
Yeah.
I'll cook. If I'm having a bigger event, I'll cook, and then I'll also cater. I'll do like a mix. I think it's a cultural thing. I don't think it's just Desi. Like it's French Canadian. It's like Arab homes you would go to, right? Latin homes, they'll always like feed you.
Yeah.
I think it's very much like an American thing to go to someone's home, or even I've heard Scandinavian thing to go to someone's home and not be fed.
I've only interacted with Indian culture. My mom always loved to cook, and I didn't realize how much I took it for granted. Because even when I went back to LA, she'd like pack stuff
And freeze it.
and freeze it. And people thought I would joke with her that people thought I was like a food terrorist because I had all like these bags. And now like I really don't eat Indian food because I don't really go out to Indian restaurants because I just don't like the food here.
Yeah.
And like it's so weird like how that part of my culture is just gone now, like the home cooked meals. So it's
We could find you
That's
someone on
sad.
Facebook Marketplace. We could find you like a Bengali mom who like make a tiffin for you.
Wait,
or
there's a
something.
lot of tiffin people.
Yeah,
though,
I think you
in
should do like a
LA.
home cooked thing because I always miss Indian food and the restaurant stuff is not the same.
No, it's
like,
horrible.
well, start cooking your skills and bring it to the podcast.
Maybe I start bringing you
I can
some.
hire you.
Maybe I should bring you some food.
Can your mom mail it? Or is it all frozen?
No, she
stuff?
can't do it anymore.
Shit, okay.
She has passed.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
it's okay.
No.
Are you doing what you want to do? Are you living your dream?
Yeah, I would say for the most part. But like we were talking about what's next.
Yeah.
So there's that little lurking thing of what's next. And ideally, I think for me, the next is to have my own show.
You had your show though.
And I do, yes.
Raw with Rasha, I watched.
I had done Raw with Rasha, and then I've
Yeah.
got my podcast, Beyond the Glam, which I'm gearing up for right now for season 2. And so I think there's always, that little thing of I want to accomplish more. But overall, I do feel grateful and I feel lucky because this also wasn't a career that was necessarily supported by everybody in my family.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be a pharmacist, popping pills in bottles.
Why pharmacist? Did
still
you
do
study
that.
pharmacy?
I think, my dad passed away, but I think that was his dream because he wanted to become a pharmacist and he ended up becoming an engineer. And then he thought, because they know that I can't handle blood, I will faint. So they thought, at least go into medicine and with pharmacy, it'll be easy. But I literally interned one day at a pharmacy. And the next day I called the lady back and I was like, I'm sorry, I won't be coming in anymore. I just was devastated.
What was it like? Was it boring?
I relate.
It was so boring.
It looks boring.
I couldn't handle it. I was just sitting there and I'm like just counting and doing paperwork. And I wasn't counting pills, by the way, because I was an intern. So it was more of like counting the bottles and counting what was there. But I'm observing
You're like, I'll be taking the pills if I work here.
what other I've worked here too long. So I just realized, but see, it was that time during college too, and I already knew.
Yeah.
I knew I was a communicator, and that was my journey. So I've always trusted that.
I interned for a dentist for one day because I was pre-dental because I was trying to be rebellious. My parents wanted me to be a doctor. And I was like, no, I'm going to do dentistry and like shame the family. And then I did one day. I remember someone was like, Jasmine, I really think like, because I'm like a little like OCD and like whatever. And I was so horrified at what I saw.
Were you?
I was like, these people do not
Yeah.
brush their teeth. And I was like, I can't do it. I had like a crisis in college. Like, what am I going to do?
But do you think that's pressure that we get from our parents and culturally? And do you think that that's still happening a lot now? Because, we see so many people, especially in the South Asian culture. And I'd love to hear your experience on this too, being desis, that are you still doing this route or that? But now I feel like people have expanded because we see so many entrepreneurs or so many of us in the creative space.
I don't know. I've tried to do other things and never worked out. My dad was an eye surgeon, so I went to the hospital with him to watch him do a surgery once. I was like, I cannot do this. I cannot
That
do
one's
this.
hard.
I don't think even my dad wanted to do it, but he just did it. Sorry, Dad. But he
Right,
did
you
it.
just do it, right?
He was like one of the best
just do it.
doctors in New England, and he was great at it. I just felt like I can't do this.
It's good to know yourself in that way and not be pressured in that way. It's
What's your story, Genevieve?
Okay, that's no, just in the same way. It's my path is had a lot of incredible like education and stuff.
Yeah, she's actually like very smart. It's like really surprising.
It's really
She's,
shocking.
like, super
I know.
smart.
It's honestly very shocking. I know. But I realized too, after like in grad studies at the end of it, in the clinical aspect, I was feeling very emotionally taxed. And I loved anatomy and physiology so much, and I loved studying it so much. But I realized practically it was not for me. I was just very emotionally taxed. All I ever wanted in life was to perform. I was, felt like I couldn't say it out loud and couldn't do it, even though like my family has such a history of it. Education was so important, and having a stable job was so important. And I think because you reach certain grades and you get into certain things, you feel like you have to. But I took a hard left. We deviated.
Well, I'm sensing a common through line here between all of us.
Truly.
And maybe it's a life thing in general. What do you think? I mean, maybe that's life, because nobody really knows. I don't
really know how your life's going to turn out.
Yeah.
It's constantly changing, and I hope mine keeps changing. I love, like, I've had so many different eras of my life already by 35, and like I think that's exciting and wonderful. I like.
But do you guys ever think there are those, I guess we did talk about this, those little situations that are kind of momentous in changing the direction of your life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? You have those little key moments, right?
Yep.
And it sounds like you had that moment. You're in pharmacy. Your intern day.
Pharmacy crisis.
My pharmacy crisis, yes, definitely. Because it just made me realize that even if you know what I think it was owning up to who I was and who I wanted to be. Exactly. And then having to deal with the fact that I may be disappointing people who love me, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. And I hate saying this, but I think that guilt stayed around for many years, even though I pursued what I wanted to do.
I still have that guilt.
Because I feel, and this is only my experience as an Indian woman, but I still feel sometimes, but I don't care anymore. I'm at that place where I give 0 Fs about anything. Mm-hmm. And that to me is empowering, because there's those moments of, it's great what you do, but people define if you've made it, right? Yeah. So, my son's a doctor, or they're a lawyer, or like those are the defined things of that's success.
Acceptable.
But it's like when you have a sit down with Priyanka Chopra, I'm like, not me, but like other people, wow, it's so incredible what you do, but you didn't see the path before that of what it took to get there. But you're defining that as success. That may not be success to me. That may be a nice win. But that's what I do. I interview celebrities. Like, that's just part of the job. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Valuation is a big part of everything. Even like, not to make it about dating, but like when I was in Florida living, I'd be like, I'm a comedian. They're like, that's amazing. Here, they're like, I'm an actor, whatever. They're like, what's your IMDb score? Like, they need to like see like some kind of like number. Metric. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many followers do you have?
Here versus like, I'm a working actor. If you're back, like even in, let's say, Dundas, Ontario, where I grew up, if you're like a working actor, you have a national commercial, like to them that's success. But to me, that's like barely the start. Like it's just once you've lived other places in an industry where you see, but I do think that's what makes, some people successful in this, whether it is acting, podcasting, comedy, whatever. It's because I think the bar keeps going higher and higher and higher for ourselves. Like we create that bar, right? And it's like, how do you ever reach that threshold of success? What is success?
Let's get Jazz's input and then we'll start wrapping up.
On what specifically?
The judgment of people.
Of success from other people.
Small question.
I mean, you have a podcast. I mean, you deal with it all the time.
I do have a podcast, and I am very hard on myself about my metrics, and I can get easily discouraged when I am not seeing like, I thought I put out such a good episode, and you just don't know. Like I've said this before, you don't know what's going to hit. I've been very regretful when I've been inconsistent with my podcast because I'm focusing on work or something. So now that's like this year has been like a big, okay, I'm coming back to it. I want to really grow it again. And I don't know. I feel like, I think there's 2 paths. You mentioned like the doctor lawyer track and versus entrepreneurship. I think it's always been like that in our communities, right? Like I actually saw this matchmaker talking about this. There's like 2 types of Indians, like entrepreneurs or the, white, like the super, educated professionals. And sometimes there's overlap, but my parents are entrepreneurs. And so me being in tech and like being entrepreneurial and stuff, they're cool with it, but they're always like, okay, where's the money? Where's the money? You know, and I'm like, it's coming, you know, is it? I don't know.
That's the question.
We got to get out of here. Rasha, where can we find you? Social media.
Thanks for having me. You can find me at Rasha Goel on all social media platforms, especially Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Genevieve Dube'C on Instagram and TikTok, and also Gorilla Cheeks. Check it out and check out the Instagram there.
You guys can find me at Hot Chai Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and primarily YouTube.
Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So much fun.
So great to finally see you here. Thanks, ladies.
Of course.
And
Tarun.
thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. Please follow me at Tarun Shetty. You can follow us at the Convo Sutra, and we'll see you next episode. Take care.